I'm showing you the 3 best hack clients for Minecraft Java Edition in 2026. So let's get right in with the first one, which is going to be CatLean. All of the websites I mentioned in this video are going to be right down in the description below. CatLean works for 1.21.11 currently, but also supports some older versions. We can go ahead and download it from their website. We also need the Fabric API and Fabric language Kotlin. Now, of course, you also want to have Fabric installed for Minecraft 1.21.11. If you don't have that yet or you're not sure where to get it, I will also link it down in the description below. Anyways, we can simply go ahead and drag all of these mods into our mods folder over here. If you require a full in-depth installation tutorial, then I have also made that, and well, you'll know where it's linked. But with those in the correct location, we can play. Now here I am inside of Minecraft with CatLean installed, and to use it we can simply press on the P button on our keyboard. That is going to open up the Click GUI. I'm not going to go too in-depth into usage for these clients. Once again, there are full tutorials in the description, but basically this right here is CatLean. We have all of these utilities here. Click on them to turn them on, and we have a whole lot of customization on all of these utilities. So a little bit of background on CatLean. It is actually made by the same developer who made the legendary Thunderhack client. This was truly one of my favorite Minecraft clients of all time, and then it got discontinued. But the developer made CatLean, and CatLean did definitely not disappoint. Look at the amount of stuff we have here. Everything you see on screen right now is not even half of what CatLean has to offer. As you can see, there is a bunch of other sections in the Click GUI here that, I mean, they're kind of easy to miss, but they add so much. Just look at the amount of utilities. The fact that they're not all displayed on your screen at the same time really doesn't do this client justice, because it offers so incredibly much. And not just that, in this Windows section, we have the option to add waypoints, proxies, homies, or friends, configurations, as well as macros, all with a GUI as well, making all of this incredibly easy. We can click on the plus button to add anything, and the GUI will guide you all the way through. It's amazing. We also even have this HUD area, which contains even more stuff that CatLean does have. The only thing enabled by default is this FPS widget in the top left-hand side, but you can add as many things to your screen as you want, all of which are going to display some information, and we can move them around however. So that's obviously fantastic. Now, just talking and yapping about this client is also not going to do it justice. You really just have to check it out yourself. You can even make custom themes and such through here. You can import them, export them, share them, download them from the internet, etc. And there is even a search bar up there as well, which if I go back here into the UI, I can just click on that like so, and then, well, it reduces beautifully. Moving on to the hack client, in second place is going to be LiquidBounce. Once again, linked in the description below. This one has a little bit of a different installation process. They actually have their own custom launcher, which you can download, and it'll look a little something like this. They have a bunch of different Minecraft versions of the client that you can access. So you can look around here if you want a little more information on the client, but we can also just click on Launch LiquidBounce, and that's automatically going to start up a Minecraft Java Edition with LiquidBounce enabled. Here we are on their home screen, looking beautiful as ever. Now with LiquidBounce, you'll immediately notice when it's enabled, and to use it you can simply press on the right shift button on your keyboard. This gives you access to a bunch of different drop-down menus that I have organized perfectly because I'm autistic. Now, it might not look like this client is that much, but once again, we can scroll in many of these categories, just exposing how much really LiquidBounce has to offer. It is pretty insane. Of course, the search bar is going to come in really useful here. There is just so incredibly much. And now LiquidBounce is quite a different client than CatLean. I'd say it has primarily a different focus. You see, CatLean is more of a general utility client, and LiquidBounce actually comes really close to a lot of the paid clients on Minecraft Java Edition. You guys will know there's a lot of paid clients. A lot of them are completely overpriced and ridiculous. If you want something that's really close to a paid client but isn't, then definitely try out LiquidBounce. And LiquidBounce is actually really good for stuff like bypassing anti-cheats and PvP hacking. It really has a strong focus on that, and there is a bunch of clients like this on earlier versions, but LiquidBounce actually supports all the way up to 1.21.8 currently, making it really the only client that's updating to these latest versions and is still this high quality. But that doesn't mean you can't also use it for older versions. You see, LiquidBounce also has some LiquidBounce Legacy and stuff like that works for all the way back to 1.12.2. Once again, to really be able to just discover everything this client has to offer, you should just get it yourself real quick. Of course, all the clients I'm showing in this video are completely free, so literally zero effort to go ahead and get this yourself. With that being said though, obviously these 3 clients aren't the only 3 out there. There is so much more, especially on Minecraft Java Edition, and that is why I'll also link a few other random clients that I like down in the description below. Now, apart from the Click GUI, LiquidBounce also has something that CatLean doesn't, and that is working chat commands. So in the chat, you can prefix with a dot, and then you'll get an auto-completable list of commands that LiquidBounce offers. You can scroll through here and there is so much. You have, for example, a .xray command. You can toggle utilities in the Click GUI actually through the commands here as well. You can manage your keybinds, stuff like that. There is a lot in here. Definitely don't miss out on that as well. Now, the final client is going to be Meteor. To get it, once again, I'm on their website. You need to download this as a Fabric mod. However, it doesn't actually require the Fabric API, so you can drag it right in. By the way, you can also actually use this together with Baritone, an incredibly cool mod that I'll show you guys a little more about in a few seconds. You can also find this on their website. Once again, Meteor is for Fabric. I'll be using it on 1.21.11, but you can use it for versions all the way down to about 1.14. So inside of Minecraft, to use Meteor client, you can press on the right shift button on your keyboard and you'll get their Click GUI area. Meteor is probably the most iconic client on Minecraft Java Edition. It's just so incredibly solid. It never disappoints. And just look at how many things it offers here as well. There is so much customization, so much you can do with this client, not just in the main Click GUI area, but also through here. You can manage the client configuration, the way the client looks, heads up display, which if I click on edit and then right click on the screen, I get an entire list of things I can add, including some cool things like a map, and we've got an array list here and some general information already enabled by default. We've got a friends menu, a macros menu, a profiles menu where you can save configurations, and also Baritone, which I'll get back to in a few seconds. Meteor is great for stuff like anarchy, and really it's not too specific for the rest, but you can use it for literally anything else. Meteor client also has an amazing list of autofillable commands. There's so many here, they really just add a lot to the client. Once again, just showing you guys this definitely doesn't do the client justice. Just look at the amount of things there are. You definitely have to check this out for yourself. Anyways, what is this Baritone thing I have been talking about? Some of you guys may already know it, but it is Minecraft Java Edition's most famous pathfinding mod. You can generally access it through the chat and prefixing with a hashtag. Once again, this is also autofillable. If you want a full tutorial, I'll link it in the description, but just to show a little bit of what it can do, we can do, for example, hashtag mine, and then let's select spruce logs over there. It'll now automatically locate the closest spruce logs to me and, well, start mining them very quick because I'm in creative, of course. Let's hashtag stop right there. I'm pretty sure you guys get the idea, and that's just one of like 20, 30, 40, 50 commands that Baritone has to offer. So why did I show you this along with Meteor? Well, Baritone used to actually be built into Meteor client. It is now no longer, so you can also use it on its own or together with a bunch of other clients, but it definitely kind of belongs with Meteor in my opinion. Anyways, Baritone isn't the only of its kind. What do I mean by that? Well, one of the other reasons that Meteor is in first place for this video is that it has an incredibly extensive add-on support, which actually I know of basically 0 other clients that also have this. Well, there's a whole plethora of other free modifications that you can add on. Simply drag into your mods folder together with Meteor client and add just so many things. You can even use them all together, easily doubling the amount of utilities Meteor has to offer. So with all that being said, enough yapping from me. Definitely let me know down in the comments below which client is your favorite. But for right now, thank you all ever so much for watching, and I do of course hope to see you again in the next one. Bye.